weeds remain one of the most persistent problems in agriculture. But the biggest issue facing modern farmers isn't getting rid of weeds. Mechanical tools and herbicides can do that. Instead, the difficulty lies in identifying and killing weeds without harming crops. Take a look at this field in Washington State. What you see is not a scene from the sci-fi movie War of the Worlds. It's just a farmer controlling a new kind of Terminator, the LaserWeeder G2, which uses artificial intelligence to target and destroy weeds with pinpoint accuracy. The Terminator has a 16-foot boom that shoots out lasers. It goes back and forth across the field, zapping weeds with red light while ignoring the crops growing beneath it. The Terminator is made by Carbon Robotics, a company that makes AI-powered robots for the agriculture sector, and was founded by Paul Mick, the former director of infrastructure engineering at Uber. For the past 6 years, Mikkel has been working on ways to use AI to solve the big weed problem. But how exactly does the Terminator identify and eliminate weeds? To answer that question, we have to look at what's happening inside its brain. Mikkel told Business Insider that a neural network is important to not just find where the weeds are, but to find the perfect place to kill the weed. A neural network is a computational model inspired by how biological brains learn to process information and is key to how modern AI systems function. When the LaserWeeder G2 is first turned on, it takes images of the plants in the field and feeds them into the neural network. The network identifies the weeds in the crops and the robot memorizes what they look like, so it can tell the difference between them. As the robot works, it takes new pictures and compares them to its stored images. If it finds anything it thinks might be a weed, it takes more pictures and If it's still suspicious, it marks the plant as a potential weed and puts a little red dot on it. Once enough data is collected, the robot beams the red dot onto the weed and burns it. This process may sound familiar. In July, we looked at how another company is battling weeds using robots and cameras. But that system didn't burn weeds right away. Instead, it took pictures and sent them to humans who identified the weeds and then had the robots burn them. Carbon Robotics says its AI system is different because it doesn't need human help. Mikkel said there are two main reasons why his company chose to develop an AI system that can identify weeds on its own. For one, speed is important. Farmers don't want to spend all day identifying weeds. They want to get the job done quickly so they can keep planting crops. The other reason is precision. Farmers want to make sure they're only burning weeds and nothing else. That's why the LaserWeeder G2 uses a neural network to identify weeds. The system can tell the difference between weeds and crops. And it can even identify different types of weeds and decide how to best deal with each one. For example, if the robot finds a dandelion, it will burn the whole plant. But if it finds something else, like fescue, it will just burn the leaves. That way, the robot can kill the weed without damaging the crop or the soil. Carbon Robotics says its Terminator can travel up to 10 acres per hour and eliminate 95% of weeds in a field. It costs about $35,000 and can be mounted on the back of most large farm equipment. So far, the company has sold about 400 units. Across the agricultural industry, AI tools are beginning to make a difference for farmers. That's good news for an industry struggling against foes like the climate crisis and shifts in trade. From complex robots to chatbots, farmers are testing out a range of tools to hone their processes and achieve goals once out of reach. This story was originally reported by Business Insider.